the tradition, starting with the numbers of people who went down to Egypt with Jacob. Notice how the sons of Benjamin, line 21, one is called Bela. Well, we already heard that Bela was supposed to have been the son of Esau. Just pointing that out to you. So there are overlaps here. We've got Perez and Zerah, and a lot of these materials probably, that's a pretty rough genealogy. It sounds to me, I don't know if that's Yahwist or Israel. So they go to this area where they're supposed to live, 28 in Goshen. And the Egyptians not only have a horror of eating with the Hebrews, they have a horror of all shepherds, line 34. There's the Hyksos reference again, most scholars. Okay, I'm going to try to get the end of this. I think Jacob meets Pharaoh here, and he blesses him, line 11. This is pretty pro-Hebrew story. Even our ancestor blessed Pharaoh. And for some reason, they're living in the land of Ramesses, line 11. That seems to be an anachronism, because Ramesses doesn't come till much later usually, unless it's a different Ramesses. He's supposed to be 12th century BC, so it's pretty difficult. But this is another interesting thing. The Hebrews are so enamored of themselves that they say that their hero, Joseph, started the Egyptian land system through his innovations. That's in line 22, Joseph's agrarian policy. I have it listed as here. And this is not a very nice agrarian policy. If George Bush did this today down in New Orleans, he wouldn't be very popular. In the famine, he makes everyone sell their land to Pharaoh, because Pharaoh's got all the grain because of Joseph's foresight. The only land he didn't acquire, line 22, is the priests, because they used to get an allowance from Pharaoh. And Joseph says to the people, look, I bought you out on Pharaoh's behalf. Here's the seed, you can sow, but the harvest comes, must give a fifth to Pharaoh. You have to give a fifth. The other 4/5 you can keep for yourselves. It's not such an ungenerous arrangement. So to this day, that's the situation in force, says the Hebrew writer 26. A fifth goes to Pharaoh, but only the priests are exempt from that. Now that probably is pretty old material then. But what's even older is that the Hebrews are saying their hero is responsible for it. Maybe he was. Maybe he was a vizier chamberlain of one of these Hyksos pharaohs, and he did institute. I don't know. That's what the Hebrews say. I wouldn't be too proud of this innovation. But Jacob, line 30, he doesn't want his sons to bury him in Egypt. Don't bury me in Egypt. I want to be in my ancestors' tomb. Where's that? Unlike Acts, it's Machpelah in Hebron. So when we get the Joshua death, we'll have the Shechem tomb mentioned that Joseph bought, where Joseph is buried. In any case, the book of Joshua talks about that. So El Shaddai, line 48:3, blessed me. Before I came to Egypt, now your children, Ephraim and Manasseh, shall be mine, just as much as Reuben and Simeon. Here he adopts Joseph's children, one of his own, equal to the other tribes. And I left Rachel, line 7, at Ephrata. And now we get the material is repeated. So 48:1-7 is kind of Yahwist, I guess, or one Elohist, I don't know. 48:8 again is same thing from a different narrative. When Israel saw Joseph's two sons. Some of them, by the way, use Israel. That's another one in that. Israel as the name of the father. I think it's the Israel Reuben, Midianite line, or the Jacob, Judah, Ishmaelite line. Those are the two different stories. Those are the two different materials that go into those different stories. So you see back here from 48:1, it's Jacob, you see. From 48:8, it's Israel. Now we know Jacob and Israel are supposed to be the same person, but in the narrative lines, one's using Israel and one's using Jacob, and that's a good way to, sort it out. This is a nice story. Joseph took hold of two of his two sons, Ephraim with his right, so he should be on Israel's left, and Manasseh with his left, line 13, so he should be on Israel's right. But Israel held out his right hand and laid it on the hand of Ephraim the younger, crossing his hands like this, when Manasseh was in fact the older. And he blesses him. And Joseph saw that his father got the right hand on Ephraim, line 17, and he protests. He tried to shift it. No, father, line 19, this is not right. Put your right hand on his head. His father refused. I know, my son, I know. He shall be a great people too, but his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his descendants shall be like a multitude of nations. Another one of these sands of the sea, stars of the skies, this is the prophecies. And who is it now? Not Abraham, not Jacob. Who? Ephraim, because Ephraim is the principal tribe of the north. Then Israel said to Joseph, now I'm going to die. Take me back to my country, the country of your fathers. 49 are Jacob's blessings to his children. Not very nice blessings, really. The only one who get any big blessings are Judah and Joseph, as you would expect. The others get short shrift. But they're important to see how the tribes, the pecking order. Reuben, 3, you're my firstborn. You're strong, uncontrolled, but you mounted your father's bed and defiled my couch to my hurt. There's that second reference I told you about Reuben having done something to his father's concubine. Simeon and Levi, what did they do wrong? Oh, they went through the town and killed everyone and put Joseph in a bad light. You had these bad plans. But look, Levi is one of the favored descendants. So this is a blessing that was actually probably in place before Levi became important, because it isn't anticipated in this blessing. See what I'm trying to say? That's all I can imagine. Judah, okay, you're a lion's cub. And this now, line 10, you asked about the Dead Sea Scrolls. The scepter shall not pass from Judah, nor the mace from between